So do you also face a lot of this kind of negative stigma when you first started your studio, and how do you have to deal with it and overcome it?
Well, definitely misjudgment, or rather, I would say, the stigma was a lot. It was so hard to convince. Like I said, I was lucky. My first performance was by a client who used me 3 times already. So until she also like, what else can I use you for? So I was Ming, I was Suzie Wong, I was Valley Fusion. So what's next, right? So the pole. And that gave me a very good video for me to launch my pole performance career, but it was met with a lot of rejections. So it's either, our company have got very religiously staunch people who would not like to see this.
What's up, and welcome to another episode of the KopiBros Show presented by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, today, we have had the very, very fun experience of talking to Ming, who is a trailblazer in the Singapore's pole dancing scene. She has her own pole dancing studio, and she gives lessons as well.
I feel like the first thing I have to say, right, and the first thing that we noticed when she came on, right, was really how young she looked for her age.
Yeah.
When she actually told me her age, and actually before that, I already roughly know her age, right, because she is quite proud of it. I would have honestly guessed she was like maybe like 45, like 46. Yeah, that's the age that I really would have put her at. But then in the end, when she said she was 57, then I was just like, oh my gosh, like reaching 60 and you're like doing so much, for the fact that she's still pole dancing, teaching, doing aerial dance. The next thing that really caught my attention was just that. And I really found so interesting was her story. I wouldn't spoil so much, but it was really so crazy to hear like her entire journey.
To hear about like why certain women or certain men go to pole dancing classes, and then how she makes pole dancing classes interesting for her students nowadays, and how she's still innovating and making her classes fun for her students. Without any further ado, before we get to our episode, a word from our sponsors. This week's episode is brought to you by our friends at SGWatchHub, your one-stop platform for all things watches in Singapore. Whether you're buying, selling, or just obsessed with timepieces, SGWatchHub connects you to sellers, retailers, and further collectors so you can find that perfect watch for your wrist. And it's not just a marketplace. They also offer a full range of watch services, from repairs and polishing to strap replacement, protective films, watch winders, and even authentication. Everything your watch could ever need, all in one place.
They also work with amazing brand partners, including Ken Hall Watch, a Singapore watch brand founded in 2015 and known for their small batch, beautifully designed watches with clean styling and solid craftsmanship. Their watches are designed here in Singapore and available online with worldwide shipping.
And here's the really exciting part. This festive season, SG Watch Hub and Ken Hall are teaming up to give one lucky Chit Chatter listener the chance to win a Ken Hall The Garden steel bracelet watch, featuring an olive green dial inspired by Singapore's greenery, a stainless steel bracelet, and a reliable Japanese automatic movement.
So, to take part, just head over to our Instagram page and follow the instructions in our pin reel to join the giveaway. So if you love watches as much as we do, check out sgwatchhub.sg and join the community. SG Watch Hub, bringing the world of watches to your fingertips. Thank you so very much to SG Watch Hub for sponsoring this episode.
And now, back to the episode. And welcome to another episode of the KopiBros Show presented by Chit Chatter Podcast Network. Now, our guest today is widely known by her stage persona Suzie Wong and is a trailblazer in Singapore's pole and aerial fitness scene. She founded Euphoria Pole and Aerial Fitness Studio, and her career began in the entertainment industry where she performed as a singer and show host before incorporating pole dance into her acts in her mid-30s. Now, Ming is recognized for introducing pole dancing to corporate entertainment in Singapore, pioneering mobile pole performances and raising the profile of pole fitness locally. Find out more about her experiences, please join me in welcoming Ming. Hello, Ming!
Woo! Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Ming, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to record the podcast. What have you been busy with?
Well, now it's the year end naturally. So, as you know, you just mentioned I brought pole into events. So it's a lot of event company having their year-end parties, dinner and dances. And also, actually, I've been quite busy training and practicing and also teaching. For the first time, we're having this pole and area fiesta that's going to happen on 29th and 30th of November under the Urban Sports Fitness Festival. So it's quite kanchong, like everybody. 7 studios come together for the first time to put this event together. It's a long list of performances. So yeah, and I'm performing too.
Oh, nice. I have to say the most shocking thing I learned about you is your 女人的秘密 lah. So can I just ask, right, will you be okay to reveal your age to our listeners? Or like you just want to skip this question and then you just go ahead with the interview?
Actually, I'm always quite proud to discuss age. It's got something to do with what I do. So yeah, why not? Go ahead.
Articles you interview in, they also mention your age, ma. Yeah.
They like to talk
that's why
about
people always get shocked. Yeah, that's why people always get shocked.
Yes, I do hope they
So
get shocked in a good way. Okay, so basically, I am turning 57 this month. Yay!
Oh,
Wow.
Happy
Happy
And then
birthday.
next year,
Yeah.
in terms of birth year, by next year, 2026, I'll be like, oh, almost up leh. 58 leh, touching the big 6 already. I know, right? Like,
Wow.
okay, wait, I need to sit back and show my muscles.
You really can't tell at all. Like honestly, you put a number, right? It's quite a the guess is really quite far away from the actual age.
Serious
My guess would be
Cannot
really,
smell
really
too much,
much further away.
Don't smell too much. Then the real age reveals. That made me laugh. Yeah, so yeah, that's something that I'm actually quite proud of. I mean, at this age and era, I hope that more people will not necessarily do what I do, pole, but keep yourself active. It is so uber important. Even if the exterior may not show it, the inside, yeah, it's a lot of difference. I don't feel my age most of the time.
Before we go into your growing up story and how you started your own pole company, I just wanted to ask, because your Instagram description said that you are an MC and a singer as well. So I've seen so many K-pop artists, right, that cannot dance and sing at the same time. So how do you do all this? Like you pole dance and then you sing and then you still have to MC and then you don't appear breathless at all?
Okay, so of course, like I said, the fitness level is very important. I didn't like miraculously become fit. I kind of like at midlife 30 plus. Then I realized that a lot of catching up. I was running out of breath when I become too active on stage. Not those days, not even doing pole yet. Like very rah, play games already fun now. So I realized that that's why the fitness has to follow. And of course, when it comes to pole dancing, eventually when I pick up and marry and incorporate what I do, then 有技巧的啦, got technique lah. The technique is for those people who want to do is you don't do pole and sing at the same time. You do the pole during the introduction of the song, during the 过门 of the song, or during the certain loud time of the song. So you don't go like try to sing like a powerful long note and try to climb, then you will 跑音, like
Yeah.
and then that happened. For example, and I'm feeling good, then you like hook the leg, at this part. You don't, and I'm feeling good. You don't try to climb at those type of notes. Very good, very generous.
But we usually start our podcast interview, right, by learning about the origins of our guests. So we usually like to take it all the way back to the start of your journey. So we want to ask you, could you share with our listener your growing up story and whether has entertainment always been a part of your life growing up?
So very interestingly, no, I was not blessed with these young kids these days who can sign up with some kind of K-pop companies grooming, okay? So don't forget, if my age is 57, I'm born in 1960 something. Those days, schools are very scarce in ECA. About like what NPCC, NCC, like and even PE is just so little options. Like when I was younger, I wanted to be a gymnast, but no, it was not accessible. I wanted to play the piano and they were expensive. So growing up, I was not in a well-to-do family. But that's not saying that I do not love my family. I've got great parents, but just that they could not afford and support us in our wants and desires. So very, very normal neighborhood school. But I realized that from young, I have a knack for the artsy side of things. Pen day or teacher's day, I'll be like, I want to perform, I want to perform. And self-taught, self-choreography. Now looking back, probably very awful stuff. But then, teachers, they'll just, very good lah. Now I think of some steps like, cringe-worthy, man. But, yet perform. In fact, it was so incredible that I remember one of my Chinese teachers, she very lazy leh. I don't know whether she's still alive or not. She's very lazy. Every time half the class is 讲故事时间 leh. Then my name is Shu Ming. Every time, Shu Ming, 出来讲故事. Like, and then I 讲 starting from books that I read, 讲 until no more, then I have to create my own. Then sometimes you 讲 until don't know how to end. I say, 下个 session 再 continue.
To be continued.
To be continued. Because don't know. I think she should just spend half the session, let me 讲故事, so that she only teach half the session. So I realized that I have a knack for performing. I love the stage. I was not shy at all. I think these days kids are not shy because they have a lot of opportunities and classes for them. But back then, like I said, we didn't have. But however, when come to a certain level of my school, I think if I'm not wrong, in JC, okay, my results were very bad. So everything just keep no more performing because I just want to study and pass. And remember, my family was not so well to do. So passing and moving on was very important. I cannot afford to fail and spend another year of my family's money. And I went all the way to university. Back then, there was only NUS. NTU was just coming up. They were Nanyang Technology something, and then they were converted into NTU only just at the beginning. So there was only 2 U's, and places were very scarce. So we have to fight. I still remember a lot of my friends were either NUS or Curtin. So if you're not so good, somehow everybody went Curtin in Australia. And if you're not so good, then I don't know lah. There's no SMU, SIM, SUTD, don't have. Then everything cut at that time.
After your schools, we understand that you started working at a bank. At which point of time did you decide to leave the bank to enter the entertainment industry?
So very good question. When I graduated, so naturally at that era again, what parents don't have you can do anything you like. It's like go out and earn money already, right? So my family was also I gong you 读书 for so long, now it's payback time. So first thing, look for a job, right? And I was very, very fortunate to have landed myself a bank job with no experience whatsoever, only because back then the bank was having a big intake for management trainees. So I went to one of the big 4. Okay, the one that starts with the U, one of the big 4, big intake. And guess what? Because my results were not fabulous, check this out. So my resume was full of my performance pictures in school. I don't have anything to show. And I literally found out that my boss selected me because she said, wow, this girl very interesting leh. She looked like she has a very interesting artistic side of her. And so he recruited me when everybody else's results were like, wow, A's are higher. Because he recruited me, naturally I went to his department, which is not your mainstream corporate banking, credit card. I was in what you call branches division, where we took care of all the branch that time service standards and their operations. And then I was made to do things like PR side, the newsletter, so the more artistic side. So sadly, now I go back to the bank, nobody will hire me because I don't actually have banking experience. And then they loved it that I was so vava room. So all the dinner and dances, I was made to perform. I was made to organize.
Wow, yeah.
And then it also naturally, I became very high profile in the bank somewhat, even though I was not in the mainstream banking. Because why? Bosses pushed me out to talk to branch managers, to da. Came back then, we don't have all your, your speaking courses. It came very natural because I have no shame. I'm not shy. So like, when need to scold branch manager for the poor service, they push me out to talk to them. Because of the bad, or the higher out don't want to get scolded, right? So I like, I don't care. Look at your results this month. Well, at the time I was still overhead projector. Wow, like that. So yeah, so after 4 years, I realized I wasn't going anywhere. And then I was having so much experience in dinner and dance. Okay. And then remember when I mentioned that in JC and in university, I was like, close up, no performance. So what else happened during my banking? Because the bank was also very stressful. So I started going karaoke. Karaoke was my release time. So in the karaoke, I bumped into some friends who were like join karaoke competition. And then I like, I got such things. So I went along and joined competition. So in 2 years, I belted myself many awards, prizes.
Oh.
Yeah, I became suddenly very, very known because I was this small, petite little girl who got a big voice. I was singing Whitney Houston or your saving all my love. Then you're like, 这个何方神圣? Because in the competition world, it's a lot of very veteran people. Then suddenly this blah blah girl come in like, what's happening? And then I started winning prizes. And then I was offered part-time singing in gigs. I accumulated. Then I was like, one day I was like, do you think I should step out and start doing events? And I have to tell my parents and like, maybe if it's okay, I try this for a couple of years. And if it doesn't work, I'll come back to mainstream banking.
Banking,
and
yeah.
the rest was history. So a lot of people say, where you sing? Do you have album? Do you sing a part? No, I was literally strictly an event performer for all these years.
What is a Suzie Wong show and how did you even begin performing it?
So, okay. So I won some competitions. Yeah, TCS had like Rolling Good Times. They have some program where they invite competition like Bee Gees, tribute, Ebba Lookalike. I can't remember. Bee Gees was very deep in my head because I was watching it. And I took part in one that's called Rolling Good Time. So you can only sing songs from the 60s. And I won that particular competition.
Wow.
Yeah. So my group was called Ming and Movements. So I started performing in dinner and dance because then got label already, right? Got title. So people who watch it remember, Ming and Movement. So I went into dinner and dance. Being Ming and Movement, they are the movement, are my dancers. I'm Ming. Can't really dance that well. So, so after doing that for a couple of years and pretty known, then one day I had somebody who had some thematic events called Shanghai Night, I think. So it's like, hey, Ming, can you do like a very retro dame in Cheongsam, Suzie Wong? And I'm like, yeah, I can try. And I remember when I was in the bank, there was one of the dinner and dance that I had to wear a Cheongsam. And back then I paid $280. Back then was like, wow, very big, $280. That Cheongsam, wear one time, hang down there.
That should be
So I wore back that Cheongsam and I tapan mei. And I performed in that dinner and dance, which was a hit. Then after that, I was hired as Suzie Wong already. For people forgotten Ming and Movement. And Suzie Wong character has been with me for now 30 years, to the point, half the people I know call me Suzie Wong. They don't know my real name. Actually, more than half. Quarter of them call me Ming, and the small portion will call me Leong. So Ming, that's my real name from school. So very cute one. When on street, people call me by what I know, at which point in my life they know me. If they, hey Suzie, then these are event people.
They don't know you from.
I mean, yeah, probably prior to event when I'm just a singer, or my bank people will call me, and people call me real name, full name is for my school. Yeah. Suzie Wong is a very recognizable character with always red rose. Somehow must have red rose. Cheongsam most of the time is red. So my tattoo has got red rose and the name Suzie Wong. And fun fact, so got one time I went for a surgery. Obviously, my IC name is not Suzie Wong. So the doctor later woke me up and asked me, hey, who is Suzie Wong? Because they saw my tattoo on my body. But that didn't match my name. Probably some woman that I married.
Then at which point of this, after Suzie Wong, right, did you dive into pole dancing?
So after about maybe 10, 15 years of doing Suzie Wong, so my act there is a formula one. Then I noticed that people are copying, okay, I don't say copy plagiarizing my formula. Well, I mean, nothing wrong. We all copy somebody at some point of time. But to the point, I tell you, one day I picked up an invitation card from an event that was yesterday. In the program got Suzie Wong and I wasn't there reproducing my act.
Oh, they were using your name. Wow.
Because I don't own it. Let's put it this way. I mean, there is a book called Suzie Wong. There's nothing I can do. A client must have asked for Suzie Wong and maybe the event company didn't want to get hold of me, didn't want to pay my rates or whatever. So get someone else to be Suzie Wong. So I started feeling very pressed, like, oh my God, here my act is being plagiarized, end of my career. So I tried different things. I actually tried belly dancing to add into my act. Came up with another act called Belly Fusion. So I would sing and belly dance. And at some point, I also hired a tabla. So I grabbed audience come up, I teach them how to belly dance. And while they dance, now I sing some Shakira song. Very, very nice. And next thing, boom, what happened? Found that there was someone else who would use a tabla and teach my things on stage. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Everything that I'm doing and I created sort of was so easily copyable. One day I'm like, I need to look for something that's so hard, will take people years to copy. Guess what? I found pole dancing. It was super hard. So hard even for me. So I said, oh, this one now to climb up and down, invert, everything is going to take some time before someone else can catch up. Guess what? After 4 months of learning, my first invert, the first kick, first layback I go, it was not easy. And then one leg hook, I say, okay, I'm going to start performing already. Actually, it was very dangerous. You can still see in my video those days, yeah, I still have to measure my kick. If miss only is very loud. So, pleaded with one of my clients who have used me 3 times already. They like me a lot. I said, hey, I got nothing else to perform. Can you let me perform pole at your show? And she's like, yeah, okay. So I fabricated my first pole. And that was my first show.
A lot of listeners will be keen to know, right, how you went from all that past, right, to actually setting up your own studio and what actually inspired you to start your own studio.
Wow, this one a very cute one. So after I started performing, and then there were generally more and more requests, and of course I was getting better and better at it. Then every time after a performance when I leave, I see ladies coming out and ask, hey, where can I learn this? So that inspired me. And then I realized that, actually there was back then, very, very few schools that taught. In fact, the school that I learned from, I told you I was looking for something so hard. I was already defunct, closed down by the time I actually started performing. So I became self-taught for a while. And then I say, hey, this is probably a very good time to start the studio, which is why. So I won't claim to be the first. If I do, then I'm not honest. But I'm definitely the longest staying studio. Because before me, there were 2 other studios that started, but they closed while I opened. And then out of these 3, I'm the only one that's still open now.
So Ming, my next question is that because I remember growing up in the 2000s, right, there was a lot of negative stereotype surrounding pole dancing. So do you also face a lot of this kind of negative stigma when you first started your studio, and how do you have to deal with it and overcome it?
Well, definitely misjudgment, or rather I would say, the stigma was a lot. It was so hard to convince. Like I said, I was lucky my first performance was by a client who used me 3 times already. So until she also like, what else can I use you for? So I was Ming, I was Suzie Wong, I was Belly Fusion. So what's next, right? So the pole. And that gave me a very good video for me to launch my pole performance career, but it was met with a lot of rejections. So it's either, our company have got very religiously staunch people who would not like to see this. Our chairman will not like this. So it was hard. Maybe out of 5, 10 proposals that I sent out there, maybe just one would be okay. But slowly, because I make the performance so much fun and so athletic by nature that people start seeing the other side. So the big breakthrough, Chingay. But before Chingay, we had NDP 2009.
Yeah.
2009.
Correct. Article right 2009.
2009, thanks to at that year, the choreographer, because most of the NDP will have one main choreographer, was somebody who was very open-minded and very, I would say, very exploratory.
Inclusive.
So he heard about us and he got us in, but in a way, huge mistake to him, because we gone through so many rounds of change the act, change this move, change that one. I think he almost wanted to give up on us. Although the act was like 8 people, but I have to train more people in case, because the rehearsals was a lot, like so many. So we have to actually rotate people around to go for rehearsals, just show that 8 faces in. Our costume was so, look like Power Rangers like that. Okay, I don't know whether we can say that. Okay, look like her, superhero. Okay. Gold boots and everything. Yeah, we look like superheroes. No matter how we kept changing, there were parents who wrote in to complain about us. They say we were not appropriate. But hello, mind you, the dancers behind us were not pole dancers, were actually wearing less than us. We really look like superheroes. So I don't know what was the problem. It's just that mindset that they couldn't accept. So much so that year, the overall in charge, not the choreographer, the overall in charge person who is your civil servant was so fearful, and he kept asking to take down our performance. But the second guy to him was very nice. That guy was the one who was attended most of our rehearsals. The first guy never appeared. They say that they really, really try their best and they work very hard. We have got the post made and push us through. So eventually, we were allowed to perform, and I'm very certain by now, because rumors has it that he only allowed us 3 seconds of airtime. All our families was excited because it's the first time, but it literally boom, no more. And they also said, texting what happened, your act was so short. But of course, if you're live, there you will have seen it, but on TV,
can see
you can see the whole thing.
Yes. Yeah, but I was still thankful because that actually gave us a milestone. Because of so much articles that were written on us, I kept all the cuttings, mainly in your Chinese 报纸, wow. And bad news are also, right? Yeah, so it kind of bulldoze us and make us being people aware of us. And so I quite naughty because even though the main guy didn't like us, I was still receiving appreciation. Okay, so when he made his round to thank everybody, he skipped me, he skipped us. Don't thank. Then during appreciation,
that's bad.
Yeah. Then I went up to him. When he thanked people, I also got. I say, I also want to shake my hand. I was so naughty. I said, tonight no performance. You want us to put another performance up there? You know what he did? He literally, no. He did that. Quite cute lah. After Chingay kind of came to us, although they couldn't put us in the mainstream, but many years later, Chingay actually had pole for men, but I think it was men. But they didn't, it wasn't my studio already, but you see how I opened the doors for other people. I was very proud of the fact. So that year, the following year, Chingay didn't have us in the main act, but they had us at the side fringe to let people try. They were very encompassing us. Very nice. So again, that one thing led to another. So we were more on national level already. And then more people were willing to hire us. But I was very aware that still companies, I respect the fact that, religious, chairman cannot show that they applaud pole dancing, which is why I moved on to providing area, which is your area sales, area hoop. And that became my next pivoter. And because area, you need to you need to dress up because you need to look like Cirque du Soleil. So by then, you got no excuse. You have to hire me somehow. The pole dancing or the area act is all me.
So do you view pole dancing or like aerial fitness as a form of like empowerment and confidence booster, especially for females?
We have a lot of great testimonies about ladies who have low self-esteem, who go through some heartbreaks or some blockages in life that they decided to do, pole and how they're being elevated. We have so many testimonies. Maybe one day you should consolidate them and have another podcast. For me, I didn't go through all these heartbreak to do pole. It was really just an evolution that I never expected. But yes, a lot of girls have given us most incredible stories. And I think there's one group that's going to perform in this event I was telling you about on the 20th. Is ladies who have gone through, they're survivors of breast cancer.
Wow, that's so nice. So empowering. So actually, I believe you touched a bit on this, but I want to like talk more about it. Is that how did you see the scene change, right, for pole dancing? Because you, as you mentioned, you are one of the longest, you probably are the longest running studio. So compared to the early 2000s, right, are people more receptive to pole dancing now?
Yeah.
Well, by sheer number of studios that prop up, obviously it clearly shows. Say people are very receptive of it. And not just that, because I came from the era where there were so few, so scarce pole dancers around this region, especially when Asia, that when I told you at one point I was self-taught, you know what we have to do? Back then there were forums. So these forums were pole dance forums. We touch base with all the pole dancers in the world. Mainly back then was a lot of US, UK and Australia. And I was the only Singaporean and I was very fervent. I every night go on to it, ask them questions until I won the title in this forum, the most determined poler. I still have the band. I was like, why you do this handspring? And then got to try and try and try. And then they're like, oh, hand lower. Yeah, so nobody to guide you, not people like so lucky. So very interesting how pole dancing as a fitness form kind of came about. I might be wrong, but I think this is the way I saw it. A lot of overseas polers were actually club workers, gentlemen's club workers. Yeah, as they go more mature and they have to be phased out of this very young, hot-blooded man industry, they all have got amazing physique because of the fact that they climb up, down pole and invert and everything.
Yep.
So they actually, a lot of them taught pole dance in their clubs. They tell their bosses, okay, maybe I can start classes here to bring in more revenue. Maybe that's my transition to my next career. So I was in a cohort of a lot of these gentlemen's clubs workers. I'm not all, but there were became actually the leader of pole dancing as fitness in the forum. So for them, they will do anything to dispel the notion that it is a very sensual thing. They want to show it's a fitness thing. Hey, look at me. Now I'm in my 40s, for example. I'm fit, so I think it is a good sport. In fact, the early times competitions were all pole art, pole fit. Don't have now what we have exotic pole. EROTIC pole. No, don't have. And even if you do a very sensual move in a pole, minus point. That was how serious we want to keep it fitness. Yeah, your Vava room. So it was very funny because one time we were saying that if a girl drops on the pole and come into a split and does a bounce, then they say minus point. Then they say like, why? Oh, because that's actually a very suggestive move. Then we're like, oh, we thought they're just easing into the split. So that, oh wow, even that must minus point because you're not even supposed to bounce into a split. But coming now one full cycle, that pole has been popular now for maybe 20 over years. The sensual part has come back. People are like, I don't care. I like to wear very, very little. I like to wear
express myself.
7-inch. I like to touchy-feely. To the point that I don't even know how to pole now. I have to hire teachers who know how to teach this aspect because I'm too... I try many times to go into that sensual feely one. I find that I look awful. So yeah, now once I go back to the original, it is...
The original.
People welcome it. It's great. And the competitions that are called exotic generation or whatever it is way more popular than your pole art, pole feet these days. And got different levels of sensuality. Got hard, got flow.
Yeah, as a Kopitiam uncle, I will reach out to you after this for research purposes.
I'll take you to one of these competitions. It's a whole day affair, see until Batu. And really, really some are like super hot. I gotta tell you first, warn you first. And if you've got partner, cannot go. We'll end up sleeping.
Oh, is it?
Living room.
based on your previous point, right? Actually, do now more couples go to learn pole dancing together? Because I believe now probably there are more male pole dancers as well, right?
Yes, because the male actually see it as they all think that not difficult, then they try it. And then actually it does give an element of muscle resilience building, and it's also very empowering for them. And not just that, because there's a lot of infiltration of pole dance from really circus acts. So if you watch some of this there's this pole that's called Chinese pole. It's a little bit rubberized, and the performers do really incredible acrobatic stunt. So a lot of these infiltration from this harder Chinese pole have come in. People have brought in pole sales, brought in acrobat. So people are doing flips and what we call flyby. They're literally just flying on the pole. Those honestly I can't do because I'll break my bones. And the male starting to see like, wow, that is what I want to be, I want to do. So there is also many genres for men to explore now in terms of pole. Not just your mainstream gyrating and humping the pole, if I may say.
Humping
There was once, right, my dad had a friend that went to a pole dancing, right? Then he wanted to book for me and him to go pole dancing together. Then I was just like, there is such a crazy father-son activity.
Oh, he has a very cool dad. Can I meet him?
So he really likes to try this pole dancing and yoga. I didn't. I told him I cannot bring myself to do it. It's too out there for me to go pole dancing with my dad. Like I really don't. I don't know which one will be more embarrassing. If you do it better than me, or I do it too well. Then it's just I was like, okay never mind. Maybe I'll go on my own.
Well, now after this podcast, you should try. Maybe you can make it.
Maybe I'll ask him. I'll get him.
If not, you don't come. Your dad can come. I partner him.
My dad can go.
Which actually brings me to my next question, because as part of the research, right, I was looking through your website's price list, and I have to say it's as fun as looking through your Instagram page and website. So maybe can you just explain what is listed on website, like what is hip hop pole, what is aerial exotic pole, what is back end and splits, and then what you focus on for these kind of different lessons?
Yeah, backbends and splits are very bendy kind of tricks, almost to the point of contortion. So pole is like singing, okay? So a singer, you can be very powerful, can be very breathy. Yeah, you can be very vocal acrobatic. So pole also has got you say when I started was all power and strength. Then now when it comes to exotic, you're supposed to be very nimble, okay? And backbends is flexible and contortion, which will bring leg over here, there, and then your head can touch the back of the waist, that kind. And obviously it's not for everyone. So we need to cater for people who like different things. And now the variety is so much. Yeah, hardstyle is a little bit on the old fashion sensuality. Think Marilyn Manson married that girl. What's her name? Dita Von Teese. Yeah. Think Dita Von Teese kind of sensuality, very in your face.
Because you say, right, your studio has been around for a very long time, and I think you can literally see batches of students slowly change in terms of their reasons to come learn, and like you say, couples are coming together now. It's not just men and women coming. So how do you keep this? How do you continue to innovate and keep training and lessons fresh and exciting for both yourself and your students?
Okay, honestly, it's just like every sport. How CrossFit have now become high rocks and tribal and then ninja. Yes, so firstly, like you say, you look at the price list, already there are many varieties. So you got lyrical, you got exotic, you have just tricks. Even tricks alone, to be honest, if you really want to be well-versed, already got beginner, intermediate, advanced. Then you incorporate the tricks into your various, like your lyrical. You don't want to be just be doing an outside leg hang, which is essentially one move where let's say your right leg hooks on the pole and you drop back. You want to be able to transit into your and go up and come down. And all these takes not just the knowledge, but your stamina, your resilience, your endurance for pain. it's a lot of parts of your body adhering to pole. And while you look at me, I hardly got any autain, blue black, either i.e. a lot of people, when they use a different part to grab the pole, it starts having blue black until your skin conditions. So it's not overnight.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to build. And it's not for everyone. People who are very scared of all these things, honestly, they're after one trial lesson, they're going to go. But for people who have this not self-mutilation, for us, it's a challenge. But it seems like we are all very gung-ho, very tough. Because honestly, if I look at it, most poor girls have got some kind of multiple piercing and tattoos on the body. It kind of just shows you the type of people we are.
You just say about autain. So what are some of the safety issues that people need to take note of when they start pole dancing?
Find a good teacher. That's number one. When you are a good poler or in anything, not necessarily you are a good teacher. So in my studio, that's something that I'm very particular about. You could look beautiful. So I do not, specifically for me, I do not choose the most amazing performer or teacher. To me, you must be able to have a good inclination to teaching, spotting, explaining breakdown moves. If you don't, you're going to injure the student quite easily, to be honest. You could, the person, let's say, you're supposed to go forward, flip backwards, and you're like, oops, sorry. No, that's cannot. And I'll always have a very deep teaching of telling the instructors, when you spot a student, it's not just by holding the student up, because they'll never learn. You actually push the gripping point to the pole. Okay, so that is where it can be brutal. For example, okay, I get my leg and I lay back. Okay, so my holding point is in the thigh. So if I hold on to the student upside down, and then voila, okay, you got it, they're never going to learn. Okay, what I do is I squeeze their legs together instead of holding their body up. But so even if they fall, they're going to slide. So they will not have accidental, because when you're upside down, your brain functions differently. You don't know right from left to right, or you forgot which one is your leg already. Okay, let's say they are one leg hang. Yeah. I will not again hold them, but I'll be actually squeezing. Imagine this is the knee pit. I'll be squeezing it. So I'm like, okay, you feel it? I touch. Let your muscle wake up. So good teacher is your safety. Of course, we have mats and we have a certain 口号 also. For example, you need to tuck in. You every time say tuck in your head, they always do the other way. Always. Just gonna break your neck. Then we'll say, look at your cleavage. So really look at
Understand.
You want a 口号. Yeah, you have them tuck in your head. No, tuck in the other way. Oh, which way? Look at your cleavage. Straight away they look already. Then that's tugging their head.
I think you sometimes forget that when you're upside down, right, you literally, your body and your brain is like functioning in a different dimension. Sometimes you ask them to jump the leg.
Yeah, so it's very hard to tell them left hand, right leg, left hand. So we hit their part to, like say, wake up their parts to say, okay, squeeze here, tighter.
So my last question before I hand it over to Brandon for the quickfire question is, have you thought about taking a step back or doing something different in the coming years?
Actually, I already have stepped back a little. My progression stunted because for the last 2 years, actually, I kind of took a break. I was badly, sad to say, injured on my shoulder and my wrist, but not from any of my own sport. Okay, I don't want to name the sport because people are going to sue me. Okay, I try other things to improve myself. See, bad teachers. So they injured me. But of course, I blame myself for not being stigma also lah. I have a tendency to be very competitive. So when I go to other people's sport, it's the best part. Nowadays, I'm very chill already. Just let me go to a corner and work up myself. So I was injured by other sport and I was very, very sad. I thought I have to stop this career. But thanks be to God, I didn't have to go for surgery. So I did some stuff that healed me. And so now I recently just came back. And yes, I'm very excited. I'm incorporating a lot of different fusion stuff into my my sport, my craft. And actually, even generically, there's already a lot of fusion without me having to introduce them. Okay, so
Push
for
for it,
example,
Mm.
from po, there is aerial po. So po now that doesn't touch the floor. So it is actually rotating in three-dimensional. So okay.
Okay.
And then of course from this
Yeah.
is probably like last time people had aerial straps, and straps is for men who are very strong. So now they make something that a little bit softer, is loop. So loop, and then so it's a bit like it's a lot of fusion. Yeah. So the aerial department has got so much creativity that for us it's never ending. We are always also chasing new. So last time hoop becomes sphere, sphere become cube. So many things. And then we have lollipop with a pole. So instead of hanging the hoop from the top, now it's suspended by a pole. So many new things. Regardless, okay, of all these new things that we are catching up, I'm still also trying to marry new things. For example, there's this thing called bungee. So I'm teaching the bungee fitness. It's just basically for you to jump and cardio with very little impact on your knees. So it's good for people with knee problem. But I put straps into bungee. So I actually fly using my bungee. And I'm actually performing this on this upcoming festival. And because I want to look like Xiao Long Ni, so I'm going to like put my hair up high, wear Chinese costume.
Wow.
I want to drum first. No. Before I fly, I want to create this very, very 古典 kind. Yeah, very inspired.
Okay.
So, and from there, usually that's what happens. So when I have this kind of idea, then I'll start teaching pole that's very Chinese-y with a lot of sui siu. Then people are like, oh, wow, that's something. Someone might have done it before. I won't say I'm the one who come out with it, but I will create my, like for example, for bungee, there are people who already started, but I actually literally created my own routines, like 25 of them that are like Zumba-ish. So it's very easy to follow. It's dab, 5, 6, 7, 8, walk. Very Zumba, but on a bungee.
What advice will you give to students or performers facing criticism or self-doubt, especially in the context of pole and aerial arts?
First, I ask them, why are they affected by these criticisms? Okay, do you like it enough to overcome them? And if you have self-love, okay, it really doesn't matter what other people think. A lot of humankind are always looking at people's bad things. For example, you, Brandon, tomorrow have a girlfriend. 1 month later, people want to know whether you break up already. Very brutal, right? They will not look. Hey, Brandon, are you getting married? They're like, still together. The world is very negative. Okay, you have to, in all aspects of life, to be confident enough. And first thing I'll ask you, do you like it enough to stay on or not? If you don't, if you doubt, then maybe this is not for you. But if you like it enough, then show them, okay, what you can do. Not maybe for the world, but at least for yourself. If you just be 1% better, but I believe you'll be more than 1%, than what you were before you picked this up, then I think it's a win situation already. Okay, you're 1% happier, it's better already.
Yeah.
For me, it's many, many hundreds of percent. I think this is one of the best things I have done in my life. Every day I wake up thanking God for giving me this discovery and this skill and this talent to, that to have a career that spanned about 20 years, which is a hobby. Okay, obviously in the beginning was like the next career, like I told you, right? Because everybody's copying me. But it was, when I picked it up, I was like, oh my God, this is something that's so amazing. I love it.
Before we end off, right, we would like to end off the interview with a round of quick fire question. What is your favorite song to dance to?
It's Teddy
right now. Let's do it right now.
Lose Control. Oh, that song is so hard.
Control.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lose Control by Teddy.
I will just.
That's good. That's good.
But just right these 2 days, I switched to more, like I said, Chinese songs, but still central, because now the Chinese songs are not your 古典 one. Is like there's one 一曲 Jin Hong, something like that kind.
An extreme sport that you would like to try.
Okay. I really wanted to be a ninja warrior.
Wow, that is
No.
so interesting.
Okay, see,
Wow.
number one, I'm very good at climbing things, right? So those rope things, 难不倒我. I am relatively good even at this age, monkey bars. Because I'm born in the year of monkey. But the only thing I cannot do.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Yes.
also born in year of monkey.
难道我们是同年？没有 cannot be. 我不知道你几轮了。Hey, so you think must go pole dancing because you like to climb. Okay. But the only thing for Ninja Warrior, not only the main thing I can do is that high wall. You know the dum 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 dum.
Yes, the high wall.
Because people go 2 steps, touch the top. I have 5 steps you haven't touched. Then naturally sit down. So that is my nemesis. Otherwise, I train for Ninja Warrior already.
Your dream location to perform at?
Disney Cruise.
Okay.
Disney Cruise. Fun. Actually, not as aerialist or performer or pole dancer. I want to be in the Disney character.
Okay.
Actually, that would be so. Really, you'll be such a fun character.
Yeah.
Yes, that company, please call me.
Who is your dream person or celebrity to perform for?
So I've always, since young, perform or not perform, I've always wanted to meet Stephen Chow. I don't know why.
Xing Ye.
我是 big fan. You know why? Because I think I see a little bit of me, in him. Because he's so funny, right? He's so funny, right? But I heard, it's quite known fact that behind the scene he's actually a very serious person.
As a director.
Yes.
Check this out. I'm an entertainer. I go out the stage and now podcast. You know, when I'm in my recluse, I don't talk to my neighbors unless they talk to me. I'm not that kind that will find out what my neighbors do, who is what, who's sekia. Up to when I was living in my old house, when I started performing, because we drag luggage to shows, right? They thought that I'm actually SQ girl. I'm a air stewardess because I always drag luggage.
Air stewardess. Actually, I imagine so.
So they're like, 出国去飞that kind of stuff. But I'm doing this every weekend. Then I will just be, I don't know about him, but I feel that because of my job, every time I'm on stage, with people, I have to expend so much energy that when I don't need to, I will.
Also like outgoing energy.
So okay. Anyway, I'm not sure whether I want to perform for him. You're probably not interested, but the person I want to meet is so things.
But who is a dream person or celebrity, right, that you would like to perform with?
Shakira. I love that girl.
Wow.
Okay.
That is that's quite a that would be such a nice, cool performance.
Yeah.
Like I believe she learned belly dancing, and she puts that in the performance so well, like with her singing. I feel that the way she moves is even better than quite a lot of the belly dancers, I must say.
Like actual belly dancers.
It's in a very different way. There are a lot of technically good belly dancers, definitely. But it's the way she gels it all, right? Yeah, so if we can do like a...
She makes it a lot more entertaining.
Right, that entertainment factor.
Now it's the last question. Will be, what is your favorite meal after a workout?
Everybody who knows me knows I'm a cake connoisseur. Okay? So give you 2 examples.
Okay.
Yeah, even though very hard to believe. So when lockdown happened, my family will always remember the first thing I ask, where I get my cakes. I'm not worried about anything else but where I get my cakes. Because remember, all cake shop can only sell bread. Okay? When I'm sick, okay, I don't feel like eating anything except cake. When I'm cake. Yeah, so even ChatGPT knows I struggle with cakes. So I would say after a workout, first thing I dream of is my cake and coffee.
Wow.
I see.
Very unhealthy, but I actually eat yong tau fu.
Burn alone.
I actually eat Yong Tau Fu. Tea and coffee is just in my mind.
We have learned a lot from you today. And of course, you're a very busy person. But just to close off the episode, can you let our audience know where they can find you on social media?
Oh, my Instagram is Suzie Ming. And then I'll be like, still polling at 57. So next year I need to change to 58 liao. Suzie with a Z. Yeah. For TikTok is Suzie Fitness. So all SUZIE. And I also have a YouTube channel, Suzie Wong Singapore.
Sure.
Suzie Wong Singapore. I actually kind of started this a long time ago, but I never grow it. But during COVID, nothing to do. So I actually wanted to do women's empowerment. So it was Care by Suzie. And the Care actually is a abbreviation for some stuff. But then after COVID, no more women's empowerment already. Like just all my materials. So you can see, dancing. At one point, I was like, wow, talking about relationship and all those stuff, but no need to talk already. So, so now it's just back to all my materials. But in my Instagram, you can see a lot of the stuff that I do, ranging from the singing, the practices, and all my different crafts.
Thank you, Ming, for
Thank you, Ming, for your time.
So much.
And I think I'm looking forward to probably going for a child lesson one of these days.
We go trial, then we go eat cake.
Wow, that sounds like a plan.
Put back the calories. No. We'll have 2 separate days.